Hi, I'm Roxy.
And I'm Diana. This is We Watch Stupid, episode 18, the tell-all part 2 of season 6 of Before the 90 Days.
That was a mouthful.
That was... I think I got it right.
Yeah.
Now, let's just jump in because they left us with a significant cliffhanger where Sean, the host, asked Violet if she was currently pregnant with Riley's baby.
Pregaramp.
Pregaramp?
It's like a Yahoo Answers thing. I sent it to you, the way people misspell pregnant.
Oh, yes.
Well, what did she tell us?
Well, it was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said that she couldn't keep the pregnancy because of her age. The way that she explained it made it sound like it wasn't a miscarriage, but it was like a medically necessary abortion or termination, which is sad. Any way you slice it. Do you think it's real?
I don't know. I feel really, really shitty that I have any doubt in my mind because like any kind of story like this is just horrific. And so like the idea that she would make it up is, I think, just like really hard for me to fathom. But then the circumstances around it just cast a lot of doubt for me.
Yeah. And okay, so regardless of if it was real or not, Riley's reaction to it was super obnoxious. He said something like, I just don't understand it. What is there to understand?
Yeah, I think he's probably where like I am, like, but they never told us what the result of the pregnancy test that he made her take on camera was.
I figured it was just positive.
But they literally never said.
That's true.
Like, we don't, like, she said she was pregnant. He said, like, well, he made her take a test on camera. But they never said if the test that he made her take on camera was positive or not.
I get what you're saying, but, like, if it was negative, then why would he care about anything?
Yeah, I guess so. Tiffany looks sad about it, which makes me think that, like, she believes Violet to some degree.
Yeah, or she's had a similar experience. Because, yes, she was very compassionate. A lot of the women, or I feel like all the women there were really compassionate with Violet's story, or experience, I should say, not story.
Yeah.
But Violet she has a tourist visa, and she's coming.
This is so bizarre. What are they going to do there? And it sounds like she's coming with her family because he said we all or something like that. Or like they are coming to visit.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah. So like what are they going to do? She's going to bring her daughters and then they're going to tell him again how he's so rude and awful?
And he's Pennsylvania?
Yeah. Why would you want to go to Pennsylvania if you're coming all this way?
Hopefully they're being like proper tourists and like touring the East Coast and like, I don't know, getting barbecue in the South but it might just be a full Pennsylvania.
He looks like he's in like bumfuck suburban Pennsylvania, which is where some of my relatives live, and it's no fun. It's not a good time.
I know, and because she's in Ho Chi Minh, right?
Yes.
Like, that's a vibrant city.
She's going to be so bummed out.
And cold.
And then you have to hang out with Riley.
If she was wearing jeans and, like, a wool hat in, like, the sweltering heat of Ho Chi Minh.
So, was it last fall? Some of my Filipino relatives came to the U.S. and they went to New York in November. And they were all, like, literally traumatized by the weather. They were like
November.
I met up with them in LA and they were all like, we've never experienced anything like this. We had to buy thermals. We had to buy jackets. I have a jacket now. Like
like something they never thought they'd own.
I know.
I have a dildo now.
Right. Very, very funny. Yeah, good luck, Violet. That sounds pretty wild.
But so she said that they're friends now.
whatever.
But then Riley said that he will leave it open. So I felt like Violet was like, no. And then Riley was just being kind of pathetic.
Tiffany thinks they'll get back together. Mm-hmm. I think she's probably watched him do this a couple times with her. Because they seem to have kind of a volatile relationship. So I feel like this is maybe just a longer pause or something. Foreplay.
Yeah. Do we want to go over like his final recap at the end now or later?
I think we could just go in kind of chronological order. At least that's how my notes are.
Okay.
Did you do it by couple?
Yeah, I did it by couple, but that's fine. I can do it.
Okay. You can be flexible. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Just one little bit on that segment. We both noticed a Tiffany clap for herself when she was leaving.
Yes.
I love
Which I think we both said, like, it's fine because her tits look great.
Yes. So we cut to the green room, and Jasmine thinks that Riley wants to be with Violet. Riley says he would have proposed.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
But then why didn't he?
We knew he had the ring, and it was that one of those weird little tests that he was doing.
Oh, yeah, if she, like, quote-unquote earned it. So this is, I think, why Riley isn't a reliable narrator, because he had the ring, said she was going to earn it, and now he's saying because he doesn't have her, because they're not together, that he would have done it. So another way that he's, like, victimizing himself.
Exactly. He's, like, so good at spinning the story to make himself the victim. Is this when he said that he was beaten up by lies for 2 years? So annoying.
He's really obnoxious.
Like, maybe he should go into, like, fiction writing.
Maybe.
Like, that's a beautiful way to put something.
He would end up like, have you ever read any Haruki Murakami?
No, what is that?
Oh, okay. It's this Japanese author where everything moves very slow and is mundane until it's like magical. But all of his main characters kind of remind me of Riley. They're like losers and they think they're like victims of women hating them, but they're just losers.
I'm glad you said that because later on I call Riley a loser in my notes.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's correct. Okay, next segment is Christian and Cleo. I was looking forward to this, and it really delivered for me.
There was a lot in there.
Yeah, and everyone piled on Christian, and he acted like Christian.
Yeah. It was painful to watch at times because he's so delusional. Like, he can't hear anything.
He's really immature. I also don't understand. So, like, Nicola's coming next week to be, like, why didn't he just bump his trip to be on this tell-all? And then Cleo left 3 days ago? Why didn't she just extend her trip to be on the tell-all in person?
Drama. The producers.
Okay.
But yeah, that very good point.
It was very bizarre to me.
Yeah. Yeah, so like you mentioned, she was in Michigan, right? That's where he's from?
Minnesota?
She was with Christian in some state that we don't think about.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just talking trash on the
month.
Midwest.
Yeah, so she was there for a month, left 3 days ago, and she met all the women in Christian's family. And then our host dug into that.
So all the men in his family are transphobic. And he said, my family's very masculine.
Yeah.
And something else. And like, you can be masculine and not transphobic.
Yeah.
You can actually be a masculine trans person also as well. Mm-hmm. So I don't really think
they're just ignorant.
An excuse. Yeah.
Exactly.
Why didn't he just say, well, I guess you don't want to necessarily call your family ignorant on national television, but you're dancing around it by saying something else.
Yep. Yeah. He kept interjecting.
Oh, yeah.
It was so obnoxious. And I liked when the rest of the cast was saying, like, don't speak for her.
Yeah.
Because he kept doing it. Like, there was this obnoxious point where they were explaining how much time she spent with the women in his family. And he was like, oh, my God, they loved her. It's like, what was Cleo's experience? Not this story you're trying to tell. Like, picture your painting of the open-minded women in your family.
Yeah. as someone who is mostly extroverted, dating someone who is an introvert, I have had to relearn how to like make space in conversations. And also, I think he's also learned how to like not get steamrolled in conversations. But like, yeah, sometimes people just take a little, especially she's autistic. Sometimes she just needs like a second to respond.
Well, there wasn't even like a pause
Yeah.
in the, like, okay. I don't know if I'd call Brody an introvert, but like when we were driving in the car the other day, and I think you asked him a question and he didn't like he wasn't saying anything, and I was like Brody, like, and I was like, and then I repeated what you said, and he was like, oh, and then like I was just like, wow, like I really gave you pause to like like speak for yourself. I didn't say like I'm the middle child or whatever we were talking about, because there's so many times where I'm like, this is the answer.
Yeah, it's hard. I get it, Christian, that it's hard when people aren't speaking a mile a minute and love taking up space.
It's actually really hard when people are speaking that aren't you.
Apparently.
Yeah. I hope that it came across that I interrupted you.
They invite Jane on to basically rehash her perspective of Christian.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem like it's changed that much.
Still very apprehensive.
I'm still also like, listen, Cleo's allowed to tell her friends and process what's happening in her relationship however she needs to, but I still feel like maybe if she wants to preserve, like if she actually cares about preserving like Christian and Jane's relationship, she wouldn't tell Jane as much as it seems like she's telling her. But it doesn't seem like she cares if Christian and Jane actually get along.
Okay, interesting take. Because Jane said that she shares like the good and the bad, which oftentimes, as we've talked about, you really only share the bad.
Yeah.
So I think that's a key thing in there, at least in Jane and Chloe's relationship, where they're sharing all.
Yeah.
And Jane, as an outsider, she can make an informed, like, objective decision.
She doesn't have the emotional investment that Cleo does. I think a lot of what we saw of Cleo was she is like drunk on love or like the validation that this relationship gives her. And it's kind of hard to watch. Misha's face was kind of amazing for all of the segments.
All of them, yeah.
But like, did you see her like squirming and like climbing out of her seat during this segment?
Not in particular.
Oh my God. She was like, I just made a note of it, but she was like gripping her seat, like squirming around. She like she hates Christian. She hated all of it so much.
Do you think you can properly explain Steiner's Anonymous to me?
This made him make so much sense. Like, I also feel very vindicated that I pegged him as a basement creep, because I think this is like the way that he spoke to Deborah, the woman that he met in the bar, so proudly about this creepy basement, like virgin loser online community.
What is it? I don't get it.
Okay, so Discord, I've tried to use it and it's not super intuitive for me. It's kind of a mixture between like Reddit and Slack.
Okay.
But it was initially used for like gamers. It's for gamers to kind of like talk to each other, I think.
So it's some sort of communication platform, social media platform, or maybe it's only typing.
Yeah.
And he has like a group that he made up called Steiner's Anonymous.
Yes.
And is he inviting people to this group, or is it just his friends?
It sounds like maybe it was just people, other creeps that he knew in Minnesota, but it's online, so maybe he has invited other internet creeps. But he tells us that I wrote it down. So if you get laid, that means you got a Stein. You're getting a Stein. And like when he's recounting this association of this word, this slang, to this woman, Deborah, who we met in the bar in London, he thinks it's like the coolest fucking thing he's ever seen. Do you? I mean, I feel like I did this in like literally like middle school and like high school, like made up words, like code names for like sex acts that I never did because I was like a fucking virgin in high school. Like all these sex acts, like I think we said like Big Red was like a blowjob, and then Bananagram. I like don't remember. Bananagram was like doggy style or something.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I did not do that personally.
Okay, well, it's something I did as like a virgin 16-year-old.
Living in your parents' basement.
Literally living in my parents' basement. No. I just, like, the way he's so pleased with himself made me really cringe.
I'm glad you brought up high school because, yeah, like that's
where
how
he
was kind of, did he even peak? Like, did he even, like, just the way that he conducts himself doesn't make any sense, but it's just, he's so unaware. It is sophomore. It is young and immature and just like Deborah, and like when we finally get to see the full clip of their interaction in the bar, there is nothing in her demeanor that she wants him to keep talking to her.
She tried to dip as soon as possible.
She dipped, and then he invited her to Thanksgiving.
Like as she was trying to leave.
Yeah. And then she rejected him immediately. Yeah. Like, read the room slightly.
I think what should be more concerning than the fact that he's talking to random people this much and needs this much external validation should be his complete lack of ability to read social cues.
Wait, say that again?
So, people are really concerned. The whole cast was jumping all over him about talking to women.
Yeah.
Like online, in bars, whatever. Because he needs so much external validation. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You know, like he seemingly can't survive without someone talking to him and him hearing his own voice. But he, like, that woman was clearly uncomfortable and disgusted by him, and he couldn't pick up on it. So then for him to be like, I don't talk to anybody different. I just talk to everyone. It's like, well, maybe you shouldn't because not everybody likes talking to you, clearly.
And the whole, like, I talk to men and women the same, like.
So I didn't make this up. I read this somewhere else, but some folks so I stay on Reddit in case people haven't caught on, but some people are like, they don't think that he talks to men because men are too intimidating, and because he thinks of men more highly than women. They have the power to make him feel bad. Women have the power to like validate him. Maybe not even power. Women are there for him to talk at so he can validate his own existence.
So in his mind, that interaction with Deborah was a success.
So successful. Because he was like...
So that's a validation.
Yes.
And I wouldn't, like... So if it, from an outsider's perspective, obviously the one with Deborah, that was a fail.
Yes.
Do you think he feels the same validation if it's a fail or an actual successful interaction?
Well, that's what worries me. I don't think he can tell the difference.
He really can't.
He can't tell the difference.
No.
And then because women, I think it's also part of this is like women are socialized to be like polite. So they're not going to tell him to his face, fuck off, the same way that a dude, if he made a dude uncomfortable, a dude would be like, stop being so gay, bro, or whatever, especially seemingly where he's from.
Totally.
I think a dude would tell him off faster.
I like that. Can we talk about, so the clip that we saw, the full bar conversation with Deborah, it was so creepy. Like, he orders his drink and then he like turns to her and is like, hey, you American? Like... Or
Did
whatever
you
it was.
Notice what he ordered?
No.
It was 2 shots of whiskey neat.
Okay, so just a double neat?
Yeah. Warm whiskey in a glass.
Put some red hair on his chest.
Like, that is just so gross to me.
Yeah. Yeah, so sorry, Deborah comes out. He starts saying like, "Say I'm a pig. Just say I'm a pig." And it's like that's not what she's here to do. And
I didn't understand that outburst.
yeah,
I think that was him kind of grasping at straws to be like, look at me taking accountability. It's like, well, no, you still can't read cues and you're still creepy.
100%. And yeah, like you said, the entire cast was like going at him. It was awesome.
Tyray didn't see a problem.
Yeah, Tyray. I wrote Tyray, shut up. Tyray, just like, do not listen to any instinct that you have.
Well, I am glad we'll get to it, but at the end, he's like, I need to not date. Yeah. I'm like, good for you, bud. But yeah, Tyray needs to recalibrate a lot of stuff. Oh my gosh.
So, one thing I wanted to say, so as they were like going at him and he's arguing like the whole time, just like not seeing, we discussed some of the things that he was saying, but obviously he can't do self-reflection.
Yeah, or he's just too defensive. He was in like fight mode. Like nothing that they were saying was going to go in his head.
Yeah. And so one thing I want to say is like he was probably thinking, man, they like everyone just keeps saying the same thing. Like why do they all think this? Like that's not how it is. I have this. Okay, so quick little story. My old coworker, I used to work really closely with the sales team, and my old coworker would get in like, well, not get in trouble, but like kind of like get shit for like bad forecasting. Mm-hmm. Like she was sandbagging. So like it would say like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to make it this quarter. And then she'd like
blow past her conservative estimates that she
made. And she's like, I'm so sick of people saying I'm a bad forecaster. I'm not a bad forecaster. Like, just like, I'm not a bad forecaster. And I think I said it to her face, but I was like, you know what? I'm sick of people telling me I'm tall, but maybe I am tall.
Yeah. I'm really sick of people telling me that I'm luminous and like really just like compassionate and glowing. And like, I have a hard time believing it sometimes, but when you hear it enough. Yeah, Christian. That was a joke, by the way.
Yeah, but like, it's just like if someone keeps telling, like, if you're the only one seeing the other side, like, maybe look within.
Yeah, and that's what makes me really like sad and nervous for Cleo. Totally. Like, she's definitely, you know, like, a compassionate and empathetic and like. I was about to say well-adjusted, but like self-reflective person, and then he's just never gonna have any kind of like she has all these issues with him and he just doesn't listen.
No,
he's never going to listen.
And at least for Cleo, it's not just her. He won't listen to anyone.
Yeah, that's true. Fair enough.
So the producers did really well, in my opinion. They found Deborah, which is incredible.
Yeah.
And then they did a nice little cliffhanger between segments of him saying, are you willing to marry me? Such a pussy way.
We both predicted, though, like when they left us on a cliffhanger, we were like, no, he's going to do this for clout. He's going to do this to make himself look better. And he did it.
And just like, it's such a, like, it's a pussy way to just like test the waters. Like, so, because he doesn't want to be rejected.
It's like a promise ring. It's like getting down on one knee to give someone a promise ring and being like, it's not an engagement ring.
Yeah.
Kind of like Riley was going to do to Violet, basically.
Oh, yeah. Wait, he did not say that properly to Misha, now that I think about it. When Misha was like, you have a ring? It was like, he had a ring, but it was going to be a promise ring.
Yeah. That's like a staple on the show. Before he does all that bullshit, Jasmine and Misha are like hyping him up, hyping Cleo up, and are just like, I think Statler did too, just like, don't like settle for this guy. Misha asks Cleo what she would do if Christian doesn't change, and Christian interrupts to say,
"Oh my god, yeah."
well, she wouldn't stand it. She wouldn't stand it, and then everyone's like, "Please shut up and like let her speak for herself."
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, that was just like that. Just encapsulated that whole dynamic, just like mwah, like just a little bow on it. And then he decides to propose through a TV screen, which I think is actually also pretty perfectly indicative of their relationship.
And I was disappointed in Cleo for like how she answered, where it was just this like glowing, like, "I love you so much,"
but she didn't say yes or no. She was like, "That's not good enough."
Well, but he had already said that this was an official proposal.
I guess, yeah.
To me, she said yes.
Yeah.
But we shall see. Maybe, do you think we're going to see them on 90 Day?
I don't know if they're interesting enough to do another season, to be honest.
He makes me want to punch the screen.
Yeah, I just feel like he probably doesn't rate that well because of his punchable face.
Yeah, it was in just like general unattractiveness.
Yeah, and it's just like at this point, if their storyline feels kind of repetitive. Like we just saw the same thing happen like twice during the season, and now again on the tell-all. Like there's no like, it's just like him being weird, her like kind of shrinking, him defending.
Yeah,
like
sorry, I just thought of something. I want to rewatch it, but when he was in the bar with Deborah, did he say that their argument, Cleo and Christian's argument, was about him wanting to disclose that they had been intimate?
Oh my god, we totally like forgot to talk about how inappropriate their conversation was in the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said some shit about like not wanting to talk about having sex or not having sex with his girlfriend. It's like, you just met this lady, like, shut up.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the weather like a normal person?
Or what have you seen in London? Or do you think it's weird that I ordered a double whiskey neat?
Yeah. Like, what the hell was that? So bizarre.
Yeah. But was it did he inverse the argument? Because she was like, I want to be honest. Because in my memory is Cleo wanted to be honest about that they had been intimate. And then he didn't want to be, he said that he would be honest about their intimacy, but then he was trying to backtrack.
Oh, yeah, he probably made it, I think he said, like, we had a disagreement about how to disclose our intimacy. Okay. Which, like, why are you telling this to a fucking stranger?
She clearly doesn't care.
Yes.
And then, I don't know if it was before or after, but then going into your Steiner's Anonymous, she also clearly doesn't care.
He said, I wrote down, he said that Steiner's Anonymous is for quote-unquote like-minded people. And that, before we knew what it was about, and that doesn't preclude this, but I was like, is this a racism thing? Like,
ooh, Jesus.
Is this a white supremacy thing?
Okay, what is a Steiner?
I don't think it's an actual thing. I think, like, I only know the word Stein, which is, you know, like a big German mug.
Yeah.
I don't know if Steiner is an actual term.
I know there's a bar on the Sonoma Square called Steiner's. So that, to me, that's a last name.
Oh.
But then it's a Stein, like you said. Like
maybe one of his creep friends has a last name Steiner.
And they said that when you get laid, it's, oh, you got Stein.
Getting a Steiner.
Getting a Steiner.
Getting a Steiner is getting laid. So maybe he has like a slutty friend named Steiner.
Maybe it's his alter ego. Okay, should we move on?
Yeah. In the green room, Riley thinks Deborah's hot.
Oh, yeah.
Jasmine, I think, said something very like, I do think she's really smart, which is why I think she's a wonderful director, producer, actress, improv partner. But she says Christian, you know, like we have to be cognizant of how our partners perceive our friendships or the way we talk to other people.
Yeah.
Like, we might think it's just friendly, but if it's hurting someone, you have to, like, think about it harder. Do I think
Mindful.
that Jasmine practices what she preaches? No.
I think she would also admit that.
Yes. Another reason why she's our queen.
Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do.
I feel like she was very, like, I don't know, like, diplomatic throughout this whole tell-all.
Mm-hmm. And super fun.
Yes. Strikes a great balance.
Yes. But, oh man, we're so into her.
I know.
She also, after she said all that, she said, like, I hope that this is real, that a proposal is actually on the horizon, because, like, it would hurt her so much. It would hurt Cleo so much. And if he doesn't, he's going to go after his fucking ass.
She said that about someone else, too. I forget, but yeah. Oh, she said that about Tyray and Christian.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we go to David and Sheila. Mm-hmm. We get an update that Sheila has opened her own Sorry store, selling just like coffee and snacks and stuff.
What does sorry mean in
Tagalog? I don't know, but I know that there's like a Sorry store north of me in Seattle, and it's like basically like vegetables that you can't get in most U.S. stores. They have like a hot case of Filipino foods, just like some snacks and stuff.
So it's not a convenience store.
Well, for her, maybe it is, but maybe they call it Sorry store in Seattle as like a throwback. I'm not 100% sure.
Because I just kind of imagine it was one of those like convenience stores you'd see when you're traveling, and you get your bottle of water.
I remember seeing a lot of those in the Philippines. They kind of all have kind of the same type of chips and stuff hanging outside.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. An entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So she says she wants to get married in the Philippines so that her family can be there. And then they were going to try for the spousal visa versus the K1, which is the fiance visa, which is why we're all here. But they show a clip of David talking to some immigration lawyers, and it sounds like the spousal visa will take almost twice as long as the K1 visa.
Is that typical?
I don't know.
That was surprising to me. I'm not gonna say that the producers said that just so that they could get a K1.
I feel like when we've seen other cast members do the spousal visa route, it does end up taking longer. I'm thinking of like Angela and Michael. You're probably not as familiar, but Angela is this like horrible woman from Georgia. Michael is her her Nigerian spouse. They got married in Nigeria, but like it's been like 10 years he hasn't made it to the States.
On purpose.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I feel like
we're just going to take their word for it.
Yeah.
I don't think the producers are that evil.
I think if people do the spousal visa, I think the U.S. person would need to be like more willing to like move to the other country for a little bit and wait it out. I feel like I've seen that, but I can't think of. Oh, Kimberly and TJ, they're on the other way. She moved to India to marry this guy. And like, I think she's talking about the spousal visa, but she's going to be in India for a while.
Oh, I thought she was just moving there.
Well, they always say that.
Yeah. I'm not liking where I am with them. I'm not liking their relationship, at least where I am with them in watching the season.
Yeah, no, they're kind of, it's kind of a team no one situation.
Oh, cool.
But those are sometimes the best couples to have on TV.
Yeah. Yeah, so they say K1 2 years, the spousal visa is 3 to 4. Then they have him call her, and everyone's crying. And you were very sad as well. I mean, I was like, oh,
did I cry?
Man, no, you didn't cry, but you were definitely more like compassionate than me.
Well, I don't know, just the way he's very expressive, and so it was.
And she is.
Yeah,
too.
it's really sad, and they're like the only people on this season that you can like 100% root for.
True. But they he has filled out and submitted the K1, so now we're just waiting on it.
Go David.
And They said a brand new home, but do you think they just...
It looks like they fixed up her old home. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it looks good. And I was thinking to myself, how did he do that? How did he get the K? Because it's expensive for the K1.
Yeah.
And the house. Mm-hmm. Turns out he's working 2 full-time jobs.
85 hours a week.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
I barely want to work 5.
Yeah.
I work a lot more than 5, but just saying.
Hours a week?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is nuts. And they're like physical jobs.
Yeah.
It's like cleaning and stocking shelves and stuff. If it's
literally has no downtime.
If it's the same ones that he was like doing it when we met him. So that's really intense, and I don't know. I feel like they're the emotional kind of like core of this season.
Well, but wasn't the whole season just sad?
Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm emotionally invested in them.
Oh, yes.
I don't really care in an emotional way about anybody.
No other couple.
No. Oh, I guess Cleo. I care about Cleo.
I care about Cleo.
Well-being.
And for the most part, I care about Jasmine.
Oh, yeah. She needs to stay on TV.
Yeah.
That's what I care about.
So then they bring up Amy, the translator.
They have an awkward pause. Like, was that invented? That felt so weird.
It was beautiful. Yeah, it was totally... I think that there was like a little bit of pause because of his sign language interpreter. Yeah. But the like clip that they did like before what would have been the commercial was like beautiful with like the audience members like and then Sheila going, "No."
Yeah.
But I did like how he said that it would be impossible to learn sign language in a month, and like
I believe that.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that previously.
Yeah,
but I thought it was sweet because it's basically like taking Sheila's side.
Yeah. And again, I think we talked about this, but it's like we don't know what Amy's situation is, or like and now I question if she's telling the truth, because
maybe she missaid month instead of a year.
Yeah, maybe. David said that Sheila's signing is getting a lot better, that she's at a 2 or 3, but he doesn't say out of what scale.
100. 10. So she's like definitely failing the class.
I assume 10. But it also could have been out of 5. We don't know. Yeah, he didn't.
Which
didn't
again
really
is
say.
Failing the class.
Yeah,
but
we didn't figure that out.
Then there was
beautiful,
a delightful montage of sorts. We learned about scissoring, different positions. Wait, what was? Anyway.
Yeah, I think he did mission. This was missionary. It's like scissoring, but this is missionary. Okay. I think doggy style is kind of tickling your wrists with your 2 fingers.
Well, it looks like 69.
Well, I think it's doggy style.
Okay.
Or maybe it's doggy style. I forget what this one is. Sex. I think this is just sex. But then if you close your fists, it's work. Of course, podcasting is a visual medium. So
100%. Well, you actually did a really good job of describing what you were doing.
Okay.
But Jasmine...
She asked
freaking love you.
She asked how to say take your hat off. And then David shows it. It's very simple. And then Jasmine does that sign to Gino and then makes a blowjob sign.
Yeah, so good. Also, okay, is the mouth open for the blowjob sign or not?
I'm assuming it's open, but you couldn't really tell with the blurring.
Yeah.
Also, they like blurred everybody's hands when they were signing all these like vulgar things in the studio.
Yeah, but not
when they were replaying the clip. I thought that was very odd.
Maybe there's like a limit you can put on.
Oh yeah, because some cable shows you can only say the F word so many times before you get fined. Yeah, interesting.
They're like,
look at you.
Blur out those hands.
You're basically an entertainment lawyer.
Well, yeah, I am.
Mm-hmm. I thought Jasmine was really sweet to them.
Yeah.
It was just like wishing them the best. It was really cute.
Jasmine is a queen. Mm-hmm. And I also wrote that little segment of the signing was educational.
So educational.
Yeah.
Now I can sign missionary in the wherever.
No, I'm going to I'm gonna go sign blowjob.
Because you didn't know that one already.
Well, now that I know it's official.
You're learning ASL. Amazing.
Yeah. And then take your hat off.
Yeah. I like the interpreter's narration of that. He was like, well, you just have your hat and then you take it off and then you put it back on. Yeah. But like David wasn't signing any of that. He was just like motioning, taking a hat off and putting it back on.
Yeah. Anything else with them?
No.
Gino and Jasmine came back into the spotlight. Mm-hmm. And the first question was about the prenup.
Well, they replay her screaming at him.
Yes.
Saying that if there is a prenup, I'm not gonna marry you. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and then
with her old face. I just love that this entire season they just toggled between two faces the whole time.
But one voice. Like just beautiful goddess.
Songbird.
Yeah.
So Gino's like smiling during that conversation.
Is he or is he looking like he's gonna like throw up?
I don't know. Can't really tell with him. Yeah, I hate the shit he does with his mouth. Yeah. And then Sean asks if he made his ex sign a prenup. Mm-hmm. How did she? Just incredible journalist. I don't know how she.
Incredible.
I don't know if he told her that ahead of time or if she just like thought to ask that.
She seemed like that was off the cuff.
Yeah,
she's good.
Maybe because Jasmine was comparing everything else to the ex, like Legoland, Disneyland. Just the way she says Legoland.
Legoland. What is that?
You're Disney adults.
Well, Disney adults, but are there Lego adults?
Isn't it all part of the same complex, or are they two different things?
No.
Well, I don't know.
I've never been to Legoland, but my nephew goes.
Legoland.
Lego.
So apparently, yeah, the ex didn't sign a prenup. Jasmine reiterated.
But they were also young and broke. Like, he's not... I mean, I think prenups are necessary in certain, like, really unique situations. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's necessary in their situation.
I also wonder if maybe he's more nervous now because he did, like, lose some money when they got divorced.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I see that. Mm-hmm. They reminded us that Jasmine went to see about getting her punana rejuvenated.
That was... And she did it, and she said she regretted it.
Yeah, she said it was painful. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought that stitching your vagina would hurt?
So, okay, is that, like, are they stitching it from, like, the back or the front? Or, like, they've got to be doing something inside, right?
I have no idea how just stitches would tighten your vagina.
Yeah. I feel like you've got to do, like, some, like, firming night cream up there. You know, like, how are you?
Well, I know the place where I get my Botox and stuff, mm-hmm. they have like a laser that they can like laser your vulva.
Okay.
But I think it's more for like postmenopausal people who are having trouble with like dryness.
What would the laser do?
I don't know. They'll also like shoot stuff in there. They have like shots they call an O shot that's supposed to like help with that type of stuff.
Like oxygen? Is that like a
like
thing?
Orgasm?
Oh, help with getting an orgasm.
Yeah,
it's orgasm doesn't come from your vagina.
Well,
or am
muscles.
I doing it wrong?
There's muscles in there.
Yeah, there's muscles in there, but
they contract. It's part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know how all that would work.
I'll Google it later.
Yeah, so they remind us about the vaginal rejuvenation, and then Gino says it's too tight now, which is like I just don't want to think about Gino's penis.
No, I don't. Also, just that organ, the vagina, the punana.
Yeah.
It stretches quite a lot.
Yeah.
So
I also hate this idea that women get like loose and you need to do stuff like that. Like your vaginal canal is like designed to have a whole baby's head go through it, and it doesn't get like loosey-goosey unless something like truly awful happens.
True. Yeah.
Like it's a muscle. It stretches.
The
like
skin is different. All of it is just... Yeah.
Like, I just hate that this plays... Like, I think this is just, like, she's just an anxious person and very, like... Obviously, she has some, like, body issues going on. Yeah. And I think this is kind of, like, part of it.
It's definitely one of them. Yeah, I'm surprised she actually did it.
Yeah, that's wild.
Ugh. But they did start talking about the golden shower. And Gino says that he doesn't remember it. Did you catch that?
No.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, he was like, yeah, I don't even remember it. And then someone was like, you did it in the hotel pool? Or, like, you peed in the hotel hot tub?
Like, did he, like, black out from happiness that someone was peeing on him?
I took it as, like, he's just a pussy who doesn't want to own his kink.
Oh, my God. Okay. So, I already bragged to you about all the likes I got on Reddit about this, but I need to tell the world.
Yes, please do.
Someone in the 90 Day Fiancé Reddit was like, what is your hot take that you need to get off your chest? And then they said theirs, I forget what it was, but I replied in capital letters, Gino is a sub with a humiliation kink. And so many people, like 300 or 400 people like liked it. And then all these people like responded and it was like very validating. I also appreciated that one person was like, okay, but like my husband is a sub and he would never allow someone to disrespect him the way that Jasmine disrespects Gino. And we kind of had a back and forth and I was like, oh, 1,000%. I don't think Gino like has ever looked into this or like done any deeper digging on how like a sub-dom relationship works beyond he likes being dominated and humiliated. Mm-hmm. Like we only know that he's had like a wife and then like a couple of sugar babies and then Jasmine. So like I don't think he's ever had anyone like to long-term explore this in like a healthy way.
I thought you were going to say, well, your husband has like some self-respect.
Oh, also that. Well, yeah. Well, because in the first part, then Sean asked him what his limit is, his boundary is, and his one boundary is Jasmine cheating. And it's like, okay, if you're going to be in like a dom sub relationship, that's not actually good enough because he doesn't want his feelings actually hurt. Mm-hmm. He doesn't want to be cheated on. I don't think he likes the screaming and the stuff, but he knows that that's like a means to an end, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I think he's very stupid and should probably like, I don't know, join like a kink community, but I don't think he would ever admit it to himself that he's kinky. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. That's why he blacked out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like, what was it? Like, she was like, it was my first time.
And then Statler, of course, had to chime in and be like, oh, I've never tried that. Yeah. Like, ha! See, Statler? You're not the coolest at sex. Yeah. Fuck off.
You know what the coolest is? Warm pee in a hotel hot tub.
Oh my God. Everyone's so grossed out. And Jasmine's like, yeah, that's why you shouldn't trust hotels. Because I might have been there. Like,
also, there's chlorine. Everyone pees in pools.
I guess.
If you don't, you're dumb.
I guess, yeah. Coming from two former, like, water athletes.
Yeah.
I guess, are you a current athlete? You're a coach.
I consider myself aquatic.
You still pee in the pool?
Yeah. Duh. It'd be so silly not to.
Okay, I do too.
Yeah.
Non-water people, like non-swimming people, just think that is so offensive.
They're silly.
Yes.
Every time, my husband coaches a local high school boys team, and I help sometimes. And every time one of the boys like gets out, you know, because he's tired during a swim set and has to go to the bathroom, I go to Brody, I'm like, he better be pooping. And like in college when like water polo was like someone got out, it's like, oh, they're about to shit themselves. And like that was a literal thing because no one would get out to pee.
Yeah. Yeah, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
You would get roasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, roasted by the team, yelled at by the coach. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
But these days, we're not allowed to poop shame them.
You're not allowed to poop shame them for getting out of the pool?
Yeah, I don't think I can ask the kid, did you poop?
Oh. I mean, do you want to know the answer?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were talking about, you know, how the vagina rejuvenation didn't go as planned, and then Misha chimes in. Nicola chimes in and says, "Pray, like, come to Jesus," and like
he says, "You've tried all these earthly things, so far below him, the earth, but they didn't work. So you should probably come to Jesus." Mm-hmm. To what? Pee on each other more? Is Jesus gonna like green light that? Like,
well, Jasmine explained it. She's going to pray to Jesus to have more sex.
Okay. Right.
She's perfect.
I didn't write that down.
She's perfect.
She really did have like amazing comebacks.
Yeah. And then I think this segment of them closed out with her like tearing up about how much she loves Gino.
And saying, "I take accountability for all of the hurtful things I have done." Which is kind of like Amanda's like blanket apology to Razvan in that card at the end of their trip. Yeah. Yeah. Just like, I'm sorry for everything.
I can't say what it is. It's too long.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what I'm apologizing for.
The list is too long at this point. Speaking of Amanda and Razvan.
Razvan starts out with a bang. A killer joke about how he missed his striptease class.
I believed that for like a second, but then I was like, oh, yeah, he's here to like promote himself in his mesh shirt.
Yes. Huge pecs. Mesh shirt.
He's just like, how do you maintain a body like that? Like, I guess we only see them eating salads. His farts must stink. Like, all he eats is like salads and protein powder.
Good for him. But they're not together, but they're friends. And he's focusing, and they said that, oh man, okay. Sorry, I'm going to get really heated about Riley. I was biting my tongue because I wanted a fresh take from you.
Yeah.
Okay, so they break up because like shortly after she gets back to the States, he says that he is going to be focusing on his career and himself and not able to commit time or whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. So what do you think of that?
The way that he talked about it, what did he say? Like, he said something that made me think he wanted to break up with her before she even went on this trip.
Oh. Like he didn't even want her to go on the trip?
Oh, wait. So Amber comes... Okay, that's when Amber comes on and... Okay, we'll get there, I guess. But... Sorry, what was your question?
My question was like, what do you think about him like basically breaking up with her and saying it's because he's going to focus on his career?
He didn't like her. That's like a way of letting her down easy. Like, do we watch the same show? Like, yeah, like she's awful.
Riley
doesn't agree.
Thinks it's very convenient.
He says this is the worst take. This is the worst take, and just shows that like Riley can't read red flags, and so like if he gets back with Jasmine, it's just because he needs like the validation of being in a relationship.
You mean Violet?
Sorry, yeah, Violet. Okay. He needs the validation of
great threesome. Okay, keep going.
Like Riley also like. Riley says that Razvan broke up with her once he, quote unquote, got what he want, meaning had sex with her. They only fucked when Amanda was like trying to get back, like trying to get in Razvan's good graces. Yeah. And like, that wasn't like Razvan was like talking about sex because he like liked her, but I didn't see him ever being like, oh, I can't wait to have sex with her. Like, he really did seem like he wanted to get to know her, and then he got to know her, and she's the shittiest personality I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, so Riley keeps saying it's convenient. Like, you know, dumped her after he got what he wanted, all of that stuff. And he's a fucking loser. Because, Riley, there are so many easier ways to get some ass.
Oh, than flying across the world.
Than having a like months of Snap or Instagram or TikTok or whatever and getting her to fly across the country, and there's like, you're a dumbass. That was not convenient.
Especially
that was the opposite of convenient. You know what's convenient? Tinder.
Yeah.
Like
especially when you look like Razvan.
Yeah. Or you know what would be convenient? Any of his followers that are local.
Yeah. He literally...
The lady down the hall.
We saw him speaking Romanian to those women on TikTok. He has people way closer than Amanda who are paying him to just be on social media. Yeah. $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
To just be there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Great point.
And I was kind of annoyed that no one in the studio said that to Riley or like brought that point up. Because, like, you know, now that I'm talking through it with you, it's like Riley doesn't like women.
No.
But is he trying to come across like he's better than Razvan? Like he respects women better than Razvan?
He's definitely... The way he composed himself, definitely, I think he saw how he acted on the season and had some level of reflection.
Yeah.
Because he, like, admits he's in a shit place and, like, isn't screaming, you know, and like throwing a fit. So he clearly knows how poorly he came off on the season. And like probably, but like the way that he thinks that he has the moral high ground on Razvan in their case doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Like I could see, I guess he does kind of go after Christian. Everybody went after Christian. Mm-hmm. But like if he was going to make this kind of case and like try and make himself look good, like go after Christian. I guess, yeah, because that's really the only one I could see where there's like a quote-unquote moral high ground. Riley still fucking sucks, don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. But if you were trying to make that case, like Razvan is not the person to like go after.
In my opinion, Razvan is not the...
He's not the problem there.
He's not the problem. No. Yeah, he's not the villain in the relationship. Just like, so convenient. It's just like, this goes to show, Riley, that you're a loser.
Yes.
And you don't have sex, or like you need to outsource completely. Like,
yeah, I know.
I don't know. Anyway, so back to Razvan and Amanda. So basically, she's a bitch.
She's terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's one of my least favorite people that has ever been on 90 Day, because there have been some like truly evil people. Obviously, like I don't know them, but they just got, you know, been some serious villains on this show before, but at least they're funny. She tells us that she is sarcastic and a bitch and people don't understand her humor. I didn't see her make a single joke.
Unless the joke was on us when she was like, I don't need anything from a jar. Like, is that her sort of sarcasm?
Also, sarcasm is the literal lowest form of humor. You don't have to do any thinking to be sarcastic.
Oh God, my now ex-brother-in-law, that's the only type of humor he has.
It's not good humor. It's not actually that funny.
I would call him out on it all the time. I was like, you're not funny. Anyway, don't have to worry about him.
Yeah.
But, it, like, is embarrassing when, like, everyone just, like, it's the lowest form of humor.
Yeah. It truly is.
It's, like, the first type of humor you, like, give a 6-year-old.
Yes. I think that's why, do you remember I think it was Borat, you know, he goes to, like, a comedy coach, and then it's just, like, I am very short. Not, like...
This suit is black, not.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate if someone says that, oh, I just have a sarcastic personality. Oh my God, I'm just like so sarcastic all the time. I'm like, I'm running. That's a red flag. I don't need to be around you.
But so her and Jasmine are kind of like going at it. And then she tells Jasmine to shut the fuck up.
That was really out of pocket. Like,
just escalated. You're a rude bitch, Amanda.
Yeah, she really is. She also says that Jasmine says they got into it because Jasmine says that she was being mean, which is like objectively true. She made Razvan cry like 3 times.
Yeah.
And then she said she wasn't mean. I don't think you really dictate that for other people. I think if people think that you're treating them mean, they're allowed to say that.
It's their perception is their reality.
Yeah. She said she wasn't mean. She was processing emotions.
Oh my gosh. I'm so sick of her saying that.
Which is like, I hate when people do this, which is where they like weaponize like therapy language kind of, or like, well, she thinks this is like therapy language. She doesn't know what that means. She doesn't know what processing emotions by being mean means.
No, I don't think that's
that's also not how you do that.
Yeah.
But it reminded me a lot of like did you remember the Jonah Hill situation where his ex-girlfriend like released all these texts? He was like weaponizing therapy language to gaslight her into, she's a surfer, she's a professional surfer, and so she's like in bikinis surfing, her job, around men. And so he was trying to use all this therapy language to say like, you're violating my boundaries by like being in a swimsuit around men and talking to men and having friendships with like emotionally unstable women and like telling her what to do in all these ways that I think he thought was very mature because he was using language he learned in therapy, but it just comes off as like even more idiotic.
Yeah. Cause it's like,
you're not using that right. B, this is not how you use language about boundaries. You don't say you're violating a boundary. You say my boundary is X. And then the person can choose to engage or not engage.
Also, I don't think she became a professional surfer overnight.
Right.
This is not new.
Right.
Interesting. Okay, so then Amanda's sister comes on.
Oh, this was good.
Where do you think Amber was going in that outfit and that makeup? It's like green eyeliner or green eyeshadow and just like...
It's also so interesting to me, like, Amber had to phone in. Tyray had to phone in. Well, I guess he was quote-unquote sick. But Deborah from the bar got to come in studio.
Yeah. There was another one who phoned in, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, Jane. But yeah, that makes sense. Oh, and actually none of it makes sense because like you said, Misha could have come, or sorry, Nicola could have come and
Cleo could have been there. Yeah, very weird.
Also, fucking Violet.
Yeah, I guess she's about to be here too.
Yeah.
Like, did they like tell them like the day before?
Maybe.
That they're going to be on a
I bet you Sweet Carmela could have come too.
I would have loved to, I think that was a huge missed opportunity to have Carmela come in and talk about it. Ugh.
Next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, what did you want to say about Amber?
Oh, she's not surprised by the breakup, and she makes a good point that they were fighting a lot. They knew each other for like, 4 months before she went over there. Amber's like, this is the honeymoon stage, and they're fighting and breaking up all the time. Yeah. Like, what is this? And then Razvan said that he needed to see her before breaking up. That's what made me think, like, oh, did you want to break up with her before she even went over, but like you wanted to like feel it out in person before
not make a rash decision, or hit it and quit it like Riley. Also, like, Amber has so much baggage. Like, if I do think Razvan liked her.
You mean Amanda?
Sorry, yes. Woo. Sorry. Woo. Amanda has so much baggage. I think Razvan did really like her, and so feeling her out like in person, like the baggage was just.
This only makes Razvan look better. I think this segment, like, I was never like, I don't know anyone who could be Team Amanda. Like Riley, that's awful. But like, I don't think that any of this makes Razvan look bad.
No, but then Amanda says that he's controlling and like that there were rules for what she could do on social media
because she was flirting with and sending those roses you pay for to one other person. Like, that is pretty, that would be threatening.
Is Amber younger or older?
I think Amber's older.
Okay. She's scared.
Dude, when Amanda kept being like, relax.
Well, okay,
relax.
Because Amber goes, there were reasons for the rules. And then, Amanda kept going,
that was
relax.
Super scary.
Freaking scary. And I wrote down, she's the controlling one. Like, what? It's not Razvan.
Everything Amanda does, says, thinks is a projection.
Yeah.
She's so gross. And then Amber says it was one guy, and Amanda has no response. Mm-hmm. And then Razvan says he didn't know that. Amanda has no response because she's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And she, I think, was weaponizing Razvan's jealousy against him because she knew that this guy threatened him. He didn't like the relationship, but she knew it made him jealous, mm-hmm. and that made her feel powerful.
Yeah. And it's just like all of it is so shitty. She's shit talking their relationship to this guy. I think that's what Razvan knew about, but didn't know that it had gotten like flirty, right?
Right.
But I think everything you said is accurate.
Sean says, let's take a look back and see if there were signs. And then it's just like Razvan crying and Amanda doing her makeup while talking in completely non-emotional tone about how she told Razvan that he'd never be a provider and he'd never measure up to who her weird ex-husband was.
But we find out that Razvan is coming to America and he's basically like doing it on his own. Like I think he's originally coming with a tourist visa and then he says that he's applying for like an artist visa.
I think influencing really is an art.
I agree. I think we need his talent. I know that there's something, I think it's just like some like unique talent and they'll just like give you a visa. Like that's how like Justin Bieber got a visa from Canada.
Alien of extraordinary
is that what
ability.
It is? Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
And Razvan is. He's a comedian.
Yes.
He can probably striptease.
I think so.
Yeah. He can act.
Yes.
He has incredible eyebrows.
Yes.
Impeccable taste.
Yes. Except for Amanda. He has pecs up. He has enough pecs for like probably the entire state of California.
Yeah, he does. In multiple languages.
Yeah?
I'd sponsor him.
You're already married.
Well, can I just sponsor his art?
Oh, you'd like to be a patron.
Yes. Yes. Or can I like be on a petition so that the government grants him the artist visa?
Oh, you forgot recording artist.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Yeah. I bet you he's like a choreographer too. I bet you he cooks.
Yeah.
Like, incredible.
He cooks you protein shakes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yummy.
Yeah. And then he can talk about farts too.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
This bit about him wanting to give them another chance was a little bit weird for me. I didn't believe it.
I blocked that out.
Oh, yeah. He said, Amanda says that he asked if he could stay with her, and she said, absolutely not. And then they kind of sign off. Amanda Razvan saying he wants to give them another chance, and but is this just for TV? Like, does he just want to be on TV? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that's another part of why he wouldn't want to break up with her before the trip, because then he wouldn't have been on TV.
Yeah.
To promote,
I'm okay with that, though.
To promote and support his visa as an alien of extraordinary ability.
And just like further it so that his talent was really showcased.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I feel like his talent was really on display when he took off his shirt in Croatia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A few times.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Tyray.
Oh my god. I feel like he was fidgeting a lot. Like he was squirming a lot.
Yeah. But he did admit that he ignored red flags. So that's something.
He says, weird stuff happens to me. Like, again, like Christian, you're the common denominator here.
Then we get to see a producer.
Amelia.
Yes.
She's the producer that discovered that Carmela was a catfish. I think I told you about how my friend's ex-boyfriend like catfished on Grindr, and like
sounding familiar.
I intellectually know what catfishing is. Mm-hmm. But like when he was telling me like this guy catfish and I caught him in it, I was just like, wait, he used pictures that weren't his? He's like, yes. And I'm like, and he was pretending to not be himself? And he's like, fucking yes. Like, I don't know why it was so hard for me to process. So I can't imagine where this producer must have been with this, because this is even more bizarre.
Well, it sounds like they have like steps that they do
like
in
protocol?
the interview. Yeah, in the interview process. Okay. And it's like, you won't get on a video with me. You won't get on a phone call with me.
Yeah.
It's all email, all Snapchat.
Yeah.
So, and she saw the red flags and didn't ignore them because she had a job to do. She's a professional. But it was interesting to me that Christian, the catfisher, like decided to come clean to a producer. Like he could have just not responded. It wasn't like it was like a federal investigation. Like,
I'm curious what about the process like made him nervous or intimidated enough to come clean.
Yeah.
Maybe because she said she was relentless, so he's just like, okay, I need her to stop.
But you can block emails. You can
That's
block
true.
people on Snapchat. None of this makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But so then we got to listen to the phone call.
This was like really tough. Like, so Christian says that he'd been catfishing for like 4 to 5 years. He made accounts with friends, so it wasn't just one person, to get guys to send the money. He says that Tyray sent him $2,000 to $3,000 total,
and he does not have money to send.
No, and like he talked about it. I think he like clearly was keeping track and didn't want to tell us, because I feel like he said, "Oh, I send her like $50 every like month or so," but I don't think $50 even over, I guess like over 4 years, it would add up. Okay. Yeah, and then Christian says he has no feelings.
Yeah, only did it for the money.
I called him a stupid American.
I know. And okay, so we know that Tyray had gone to Barbados. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting that that Christian is actually in Barbados, because he could have been anywhere, right?
Yeah, that was very interesting to me.
And that he like needed clothes and a cell phone. What was your take on that?
I think like this Tyray like ignored even more red flags than we were initially, I think, aware of. Because why would someone ask you to drop stuff off at a store and not just say like, you can give it to me when I see you? Like, that's so
or send it.
Yeah,
like, just
tell me an address.
Yeah,
super weird.
Okay, I'm not siding with Christian at all, but when he said like he needed the clothes and the cell phone, I was thinking, whoa, this guy must be really desperate.
Yeah,
I don't think it excuses it at all, but I don't know what it's like in Barbados.
I think there's other ways to make money online that don't involve scamming people like this.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe Tyray's is extra sad because he didn't have the money to to waste.
Yeah.
And he did invest so much into it.
Like, I think it's wild that someone would like texted him, "I love you," and that was enough for him to just kind of ignore all of these really weird red flags. Fly to Barbados.
Yeah.
From California. That is
Which international airport did he go to from Modesto? Like that in
Maybe.
itself is a journey.
Probably LA.
Yeah. It's a long drive just to get on the flight
Yeah.
to get to anyway. It was all sad, but everyone in the cast was on Tyray's side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was nice. And anything else you want to say about that?
Well, they call him. They teased it like Christian was actually going to be on the phone, and I wrote down how much did they pay for this call with Christian, but turns out nothing because he didn't pick up. And then before Tyray hung up, Riley goes, "We're gonna get you, motherfucker,"
Yeah.
which was pretty funny.
Yeah. I wrote like thanks producers for that like incredible punk. Like
Oh, and then like then we've like kind of wrap it up where he admits that he sent this person dick pics
with his face
with
in
his
it.
face in them.
Yeah. Okay. Not great,
No.
but also the younger generation, I don't think they care.
So I do want to live in a world where it's not the fact that you sent dick pics, it's like the quality.
Oh, explain.
Like, you know how that Senator Anthony Weiner, like he just kept sending dick pics and then he got in trouble. I'm not 100% sure if in his situation, if they were consensual, and that's why it was such a big deal. Mm-hmm. But, you know, people were real up in arms about the fact that he did that. I'm pretty sure he doesn't work in Congress anymore. But
yeah, okay.
But obviously I haven't seen the dick pics, but I'm hoping that in the future people can send explicit photos to one another consensually, and if they are leaked, we don't go, "Oh my God, you're disgusting. You sent a picture of your boobs," or whatever. It'd be like, you really need to work on the lighting.
Regardless of if the face is in it or not.
Exactly, yeah.
These are, you know what? I bet you that just add that to Razvan's talent. I'm sure he's really good at it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the world I want to live in, where it's not a big deal if like people's nudes get leaked or like whatever. It's just like,
and it's like the like violation thing. It's not that like they sent them. It's fine that they sent, as long as it's consensual, like you mentioned. Yeah. I like it stinks, but I also don't think it's that big of a deal. Like people do it like it happens all the time.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I guess because his face was in it, that's what Riley was insinuating, is like, oh, they could blackmail you or use it in a creepy way.
But now we know, so
yeah,
good luck blackmailing.
Yeah. He says that he's gonna pray for Christian.
Yep.
Which I think is the high road. That's nice. And he's definitely single, but he's not looking. He says he's gotta do some work on himself, and I'm like, thank God.
Yep.
That means he's learned something from this experience. He still has terrible takes, but he's learned something.
Because some of his terrible takes were that, oh yeah, you should hire a private investigator. That's normal. And then what was the other one?
Oh, I don't know.
Christian? Oh yeah, it's fine.
There were a lot. Yeah, there were a lot. A lot. Oh, Riley says his sister is into Tyray.
But his like real sister?
Yeah, I think so. Okay. Yeah, not Tiffany. Otherwise, she
And
probably.
then he goes, "Give me your phone number."
Yeah.
And I'm like, do we want to go down this route again? You have a relationship with your phone for 4 years, and
oh my God, yeah, just stay off your phone, Tyray, for the love of God. Yeah, and that was the last segment, and then they're just kind of in the green room. Amanda says she's talking to someone else, and Razvan doesn't know, and she seems very pleased with herself.
Yeah. I didn't care. Like, she's weird, and just she needs validation from a man. And
I would love to see Razvan on The Single Life once he's like in LA being an influencer.
He's definitely gonna make it.
Yeah. Riley says he's leaving it open with Violet and says he has no regrets and would do everything again a little bit differently.
Yes.
But he'd do it again. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, prove it, Riley.
Wait, you said that he doesn't see a future?
No, he said he's leaving it open with Violet because she's visiting.
Okay.
Did I mishear?
Maybe, or maybe I am the dyslexic one, so. But he did have a new backpack.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very good. It looked a little bit more spacious.
An adult.
Yes. Yeah. Not as
Mature.
kawaii.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, David wants to get married in Vegas.
And start a family.
Yeah. Very cute.
Seeing the different positions we learned.
Yeah.
Maybe starting with the BJ.
Yeah. Misha starts crying. She says that she wants to see how things go when he comes to the U.S. She says something like she knows how people in her quote-unquote world view this relationship, and she wants to see.
So she kind of knows it's doomed.
Yeah, that to me was like, oh, so everybody you know is telling you this is a bad idea, and you're just you're gonna do it, girl. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I guess see how it goes.
You gotta make your own mistakes sometimes.
Yeah. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Christian. Oh.
Has totally redeemed himself.
Totally redeemed. They had a resolution. So, yet again, missing all the kids.
God, he should be studied. Statler's gonna go sell everything.
Yeah, right.
And then she does. Are the producers prompting her to say these things about, like, we need to work on our communication, otherwise, like, life in a van, it's not gonna work. Like, life in a van isn't gonna work. Period.
Do you think that they have a future? Dempsey and Statler?
They seem hard-headed enough
to
be miserable together.
To prove all the friends that said they were not going to work wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that would keep them together. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is how great love stories start.
It's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And then Gino says that they're planning a wedding, and I can't wait to see it. We're probably going to see it on season 10 of 90 Days, which I think we get to start covering next week.
Yeah. And I hope we get to see so many tantrums around, like, flowers and dress and...
Oh, you saw season 4 with Anfisa, right? Mm-hmm. I hope we get a wedding dress scene like we did with George and Anfisa, where she's like, I want the most expensive one.
Yeah.
And just makes Gino sweat. Yeah. That would be my dream if, like, because I miss Anfisa.
Yeah.
She's probably one of my favorite characters ever.
She's good.
Yeah. If y'all are just getting into 90 Day Fiancé and want to know where to start, season 4 of 90 Day Fiancé, that was it's like a different era. It's going to feel very different than the show now, but that's where I would start. It's so awesome.
And she'd restart his iPhone.
And Fisa, our queen.
Fucking diabolical.
So, yeah. Just our queen.
So, fuck, marry, kill, the, cliffhangers that were a little misleading. Okay?
Oh.
So, the punk voicemail thing. Yeah. Oh, shoot. What were the other ones? David talking to Amy.
Oh.
And I'm gonna say just the one that we started out with, because I feel like everyone had one. Are you pregnant with Riley's baby?
Okay, wait. So
are you pregnant with Riley's baby cliffhanger?
Yeah.
The pause about David, have you talked to Amy?
Yeah.
And the Christian's voicemail.
Oh. Kill Christian's voicemail. You mean the call with Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
No. When the the segment break where it was like, hello?
Oh, yeah.
Please leave a message.
Kill that one.
Kill that one. Okay.
Yeah, not entertaining. Oh, but the Amy one is all... Kill the Amy one. Oh. Yeah, not entertaining. Okay. What was the first one? Sorry.
Was the Violet... Are you pregnant?
Oh. What if I hate all of them?
Well, I'm sorry. You have to make a choice. No one said this game was easy.
Oh, God. Okay. Okay, so Tyray, Violet, Amy. Okay, kill the Amy one. I guess maybe marry the Tyray one. The like, hello? This has no logic to it at all. And then I marry the Violet or if I'm pregnant.
What? Oh my God, no. I mean, you're entitled to your own opinion.
Correct.
You did say this was without logic. Here's what I would do.
Okay.
I only thought about what I would do as you were talking. I'd kill the Violet one because that's not a fun outcome.
No. Okay.
Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'd fuck and never see again the Tyray voicemail one.
Okay.
That was like kind of funny, but like Tyray, that was just sad. The Amy, and then I'd marry the Amy one because it was just like so stupid. It was great.
Okay. I messed up. I usually feel like I have.
Yeah, I usually agree with you.
Yeah, I usually have good orientation, but guess not. Okay. Well, with that.
Yes. With that fail.
Sorry, I'll do better. Thanks everyone for listening. We will see you next week.
Thanks.